Bir, iki, üç.
Here I am again, in the middle of the mountains in northwestern Kyrgyzstan, close to Song-Kul. Since 10 days, I have had the privilege to live here with my half-nomadic host family, and it has been an absolute blast. So much has happened within the last few days, and I had a chance to dive in deeper into the everyday routine of the half-nomadic Kyrgyz life. From letting the sheep free, to milking the cows, from looking for the horses in the mountains, to catching the foals and milking the mares, from selling the self-made kimmis on the street, to herding the cows and the sheep back to our home. And after all, I'm pretty proud to say that now, since some time has passed, I'm finally allowed to help with the tasks. For example, doing the dishes. And of course, always with a little help. You have to know, Kyrgyz people are extremely guest-friendly. Their guests are treated like kings and queens, so it took some time until I was allowed to help. But since I'm trying to be a part of the family as much as I can, it's a blessing to help wherever it's possible. And here is a lot to do. And even when it might always be the same routine, there are new challenges every day. So yes, someone could call it a calm and peaceful life here up in the mountains. But one thing is for sure, it never gets boring. Even a big celebration is coming up soon. It's gonna happen here at the camp. I don't know much about it yet, only that we will have to prepare tons of food, and even family will join us to help with the preparations. Today is a special day, because a customer is coming to pick up his sheep. In Kyrgyzstan, it's normal to own animals. You get them as a present for special occasions, for example at your birth or wedding. Some people trust in the worth of animals even more than in credit cards. But not everybody has the space and the time to take care of the animals. And that's where my host family comes in. Because Kyrgyz nomads breed and herd animals for other people. Though, for my host family, it wasn't always like that. In the beginning, they only herded their own animals here into the mountains.
Анын үстүнө кайра өзүбүзгө дагы каражат кошуш үчүн, өзүбүздүн эмебизге пайда табыш үчүн ошол көчмөндө жашоону уланттык. Элдин малын алып, кошо өзүбүздүн малыбызды бакканга.
The owner is now here to take back his sheep into the village. It's supposed to be slaughtered for a family gathering. So our task is now to find his sheep, which is actually not that easy because about 500 sheep belong to the herd. After some time, we finally find the right one. Now this little fellow will be taken away. They just have to get it into the car. It might seem a little rough, but that's simply the reality here. The other sheep are free to go again, continuing their life as always. And so are we. Kobat has to herd the sheep back into the mountains. Urmat comes back from dropping off Lira at the nearby road. She has to wait for a car there, hoping that someone will drive by and give her a lift to the closest village, because she needs to go to the market. Since we have a party at our camp in 2 days, we need a lot of food. Rake and Alisa are meanwhile weaving new halters and ropes for the foals. Rosa, as always, is doing her own thing. Then the mares have to be milked again. Time to test out the new ropes and halters. And as always, Alisa and Rake did an excellent job, because everything works stable. Rake has spotted Urmat, who just picked up Lira again. Lira comes back from the market with full bags. She bought all different sorts of sweets and vegetables and fruits, all the stuff they only eat at special occasions, like the party in 2 days. We will be about 25 people in total, all having lunch and dinner here, which means there is a lot of work to do. Before we start the cooking madness, there are a lot of other tasks to do. For example, fixing the carpets and cleaning the yurt, since this is the place where my host family will be welcoming their guests. And I find it still so impressive how many different things Alisa is being able to do. At the age of 17, she does so many different tasks every day. I barely catch her taking a break. And the same goes for 15-year-old Rake. He is always working on something. Lira has already started baking naan, since we will need a lot of it for tonight. Family will come to help us, so we will have 5 more people for dinner. For Rosa, there's nothing to do in the kitchen, so she plays outside with whatever she can find.
Rosa, können die?
She doesn't really have toys out here, but she always finds something to do. All the calves are in the stable, and Rake's next important task is already there. He needs to herd the cows back to the camp. For this, he takes his working dog and his horse. And the dog is so excited to finally be released. Most of the time he stays here, being on the leash and guards the camp. But now it's his time to shine. Also, our neighbor is herding his cows back to his camp. Lira is now back to cooking tasks. She gets the meat for tonight out of the fridge. The fridge is a box which stays cold, since the temperatures here are always relatively cold anyway. With the meat, Alisa now has all the ingredients to prepare the dinner. She also cleans up the house and prepares the sugar cans for breakfast tomorrow. Meanwhile, there is something exciting going on outside. Urmat and Kubat are herding the sheep back into the barn, and today they don't only have to count them, instead they are on a special mission.
Konuk tossun gerek, konuk toskonda hazır alarga tay soysun gerek, koy soysun gerek. Anan aябай сыйлашың керек. Көчмөндөр ошол да бири-бирибиздикине барганда мисалы эң биринчи сый да көчмөндөрдүкү.
And since hospitality is such a big thing for the nomads, Urmat's and Kubat's mission is now to find a good sheep. In other words, a fat sheep, which they can slaughter on the party day. I want to point out here, the Kyrgyz people appreciate and respect their animals a lot. I mean, especially the nomads, since they depend on them. But still, the animals are seen as livestock, not as pets. And Kyrgyz people love meat. Basically, every dish is prepared with milk and meat, and a good host has to serve fresh meat to his guests. After a 20-minute search, Urmat and Kubat finally find the right one. They mark it with a leash, that way they can find it when it's time to slaughter it. Rake hurries back since his family is arriving. His older sister Shibek, her husband Adilet, and their 2 little kids will be staying with us for the next weeks to help us with the party preparation as well as with the moving, which is hopefully going to happen within the next few days, but you never know because we depend on the weather. In the kitchen, the cooking marathon for the party tomorrow has already started, while outside, Rake and Alisa are doing the daily morning routine. By now, also Rosa's mom has joined us. She usually stays with the family in the camp, but since I have been here, she was unable to join us. She is heavily pregnant and therefore stays in the village. There she has access to medical help, which is not available here at the camp. What you can see here is the process of making borsok. The women are preparing the delicious Central Asian dish, which is basically fried dough. A very yummy and very fatty type of bread snack. The preparation of borsok looks simple. First, knead the dough and divide it into portions. Then these portions have to be rolled out, just like pizza. And in the final step they are cut into small pieces and then deep fried. The more complicated part is that we need tons of those tiny bread pieces. So even Auntie from next door came to help us with the preparation. While the cooking madness is happening inside, outside the weather has changed. So much rain today. Right now it's clearing up a little and Rake uses this moment to get some new dried dung for the oven with his little cousin. But we are all sure it's gonna rain again soon. And this is actually a little bit worrying. Because we have to move our location within the next few days. But moving is not possible when it's wet. The moving then becomes too dangerous, because the roads to go up to the Song-Kul lake get simply too challenging, for the moving truck as well as for the animals themselves. But we do have to move.
Misal üçün göçkөнгө туура келет да, кыш деген бар, жаз деген бар, күз деген бар да. Анан малды ошого карап көчөсүң да. Кышында кыштоодо болосуң, андан кийин жастоодо болосуң. Азыр жастоодо отурабыз да. Андан кийин жайлоого Song-Kulга кетебиз. Ошон үчүн анан көчмөн болуп анан көчүп жүрөбүз да. Баягы жери от жерлерге кетиш үчүн анан көчүп Song-Kulга чейин малдын шартына жараша ылайыктанат да.
In other words, the nomads always move to where it is best for their animals, which means they have to go where the grass is. And here at our camp, there's not that much grass left. The animals already get some extra food, for example salt, but still, we have to move soon. Now though, is not the right time for worrying too much. Everybody is too excited for tomorrow. We all want to sleep early. Tomorrow is the party, and it's gonna be a long day for everyone. The snow on top of the mountain shows how much it has rained tonight. But this morning, we are lucky. My host mom Lira uses the weather to dry clothes, and my host dad Kubat is using the good light for shaving. The green container hanging on the woods is our sink. We always refill it with water. Our options here for hygiene might be simple, but in my opinion, we have everything you need. Now it's time for the most important event of the day, the slaughtering. This begins with a prayer. Even Auntie from next door has come to join in, and also the children have to join. Everyone takes it very seriously. My host family are Muslims, like most Kyrgyz people. So the slaughter must be halal, which also includes the prayer. Now we come to the ugly part. First, the sheep has to be put in the right position. A cut through the throat to let it bleed out. That's how it has to be done, to be halal. Sounds brutal, but here it is normal for everyone. Even the children watch. They know exactly where their meat comes from. Now the sheep almost completely bled out. The last bit is rinsed off with water. Then it's time for the next step. The skin needs to be peeled off. After this process, it's time to cut the innards out.
They're asking your help. They need your help.
What should I do?
I don't know, like they're waiting, calling to you, like your line is free and it's possible.
Let the food work begin.
Oh.
The innards need to be washed before they can be cooked. Almost everything can be eaten. It just needs the right preparation. That's the motto here, and I love it. The amount of food waste in our world is ridiculous. Here, though, every food is appreciated and nothing is being wasted. Even the head and the legs are being prepared. They are considered a delicacy in Kyrgyzstan. Roasting them for a long time is the secret. And at the end, all the burnt bits and pieces need to be washed off, and afterwards they can be cooked. In Kyrgyzstan, there is a special hierarchy when it comes to the meat distribution. Who gets which part of the sheep is decided by age and status, and therefore needs to be discussed.
шұлпырға нон салғайсың ғой, текпен.
Анда тіге жан бастап жатқаннан шопырға тігіне береді, құймытшаға көнден ұлатпай.
To see this whole diverse buffet here now is so crazy to me. I still have no clue how my host family managed to make so much food in such a short time with not many resources. It's simply impressive. Finally, the guests are arriving. Some of Urmat's friends came all the long way from the capital city Bishkek to be here today. I also learned now what the party is all about. It's a tradition of Urmat and his old classmates from school. They meet up every 2 months at a different friend's house to celebrate their friendship. How cool is that? While the guests have their late lunch in the yurt, the cooking in the house continues.
Anne, kımızdı koy vereyim mi?
Urmat's friends are now starting with their activities. When they meet up, they really try to recall the memories. So they play all the games from school again. Even just to watch this is already so fun. And I noticed I have played almost every single one of these games in school too. With all the games going on, Rosa and I also got in the mood to play. Playing tag around the house is our favorite thing to do. Outside, the fun day might be coming to an end, but inside the yurt, the friends' party is still going on.
Salkındıgana жерге майсар ойгул сагызган гана келибей конбойбу.
The whole day the weather was calm, but since the guests have left, there is a big thunderstorm coming up, leaving my host family with a lot of questions, because we were hoping to move up to Song-Kul Lake in 2 days. The last few days it has been raining non-stop. As a result, our moving day is being delayed further and further, and the mood here is tense, because there's nothing we could do about it but wait.
Не серпен кеткен сол жеріне. Мындай темір сып кеткен ғой, ә?
Бұл жерде жүріп кеткен.
And the longer we have to wait, the worse it is for my host family and their animals, as the pastures are slowly running out of grass. And our animals can't get up the steep and challenging mountains to Song-Kul Lake if they don't have enough food.
Көчмөн жашоонун эң кыйынчылыгы эми бизде көчкөндө, көчүп келатканда, анан мал издегенде кыйынчылык болуп кетет. Жаан чачында, кар жааганда мал издегенде кыйынчылык болуп кетет да.
Климат аябай өзгөрдү. Өзгөргөнү бул болуп атат. Мөңгү жок, тооло мөңгү эчтеке жок. 10 жылдан бери го мөңгүнүн баары калбай калып анан суунун баары тартылып кетти да. Байкаганыбыз ушул, мөңгү калбай калып анан суу негизи азайган эле ичинде болуп баратат, жылдан жылга азайып баратат.
This little stream used to be a real river, but it's not just the drinking water that is becoming less due to climate change. At the same time, the heavy rainfalls and unpredictable weather conditions are increasing. Like today, hailstones are falling from the sky. And then, all of a sudden, our whole camp is flooded.
Неле папа тетini аралап жагып таштабайлыбы? Я папа. Тетini аралап жагып таштабайлы. Аптылайбы?
Even the lambs have to seek protection inside our house. A couple of hours later, it suddenly stopped raining, and just as quickly as the camp was flooded, it's returning back to normal. Surprisingly, the weather seems calm now. It looks like after 5 days of non-stop raining, it finally gets better again. Our hopes are high now that we can finally start preparing everything for the moving. If this really works, you will find out in the next part.